Hey y'all, it's your Missniecytv and I'm here to do a review for Zatima Season 3, Episode 11. The episode picks up with Zach still getting carried off to jail and Fatima's like, what the heck is going on? Because she's trying to figure out. Asia comes outside and she's witnessing all this and she's like, officer, you got the wrong one. I called for her, not for him. She's the one that wrecked up my entire place, but what did he do? Fatima's yelling at Deja like, this is not the time right now or the place for this. You need to go in the house and mind your business. And Deja's like, I called the police for you, not for him. But what the heck did he do? Fatima's fed up with everything and she's like, Deja, I'm just tired of you. This is not good and you need to stop acting like it is. Deja better act like she knows because Fatima's name is on the house too, and since Zach is not there to stop her, she could legally put Deja out. Over at the police precinct, the officer that's interrogating Zach is the same officer that was interrogating Karen and them in the interrogation episode of Season 8 of Sisters. And Zach is like, I'm not telling you nothing without a lawyer person. Zach might not know a lot of things, but he knows how to handle himself when it comes to the law. And the officer is still trying to badger him and interrogating him, and Zach is not having it. So the officer takes it a step further to try to get a reaction out of Zach, and he's like, how would your mother feel about what you did to Jeremiah? You know Zach, of course, has a reaction. And Zach says something really smart, and he's like, how about you take these handcuffs off of me and find out how she would actually feel? The officer's like, why would I do that? So you can do the same thing that you did to your brother to me? Over at Belinda's house, Nate comes over there to talk to Belinda, and he's like, it's been a long night. Belinda's like, I don't care, where's my rent money at? Nate is like, he didn't have it and he's in the hospital and that's all you can care about. Belinda's like, well, I don't care, you and your friends tore up my house and I just want my rent money. He clowned her for not picking up the shelf, but he's like, wow, that's cold, I'll make sure you have your rent money. Outside of the interrogation room, Fatima's sitting in the jail, the same place that she said that she would never come to visit Zach, call him or see him, right? And she's waiting to see what's going on with Zach. Now she's waiting, she gets a call from the funeral director. The funeral director basically lets her know that everything's done for the funeral, and Fatima's like, I'm sorry to tell you this, but we have to push the date back. And the funeral director's like, how long do we have to push the date back for? Fatima's like, I don't know. Fatima is very snappy and irritated with everybody because of what's going on with Zach. So she's just like, name the price and I'll cut the check. The funeral director's like, you know that's going to be very expensive, right? Fatima's like, I don't care. So Fatima has pushed the funeral back 2 weeks. When Angela shows up, and I'm like, why is Angela there? And who called her? Did Fatima invite her down to the jail just to sit with her? Because Fatima's like, I can't even get in there right now. So they're talking. Angela's like, how you doing? Fatima's like, I don't know, and I don't even know why you did this. I told him not to. They're sitting there talking about the whole situation. Fatima's like, I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to feel. Angela's like, just take it one day at a time, everything will be okay. Then Angela reveals to her that there's actually a video of what Zach did. Just made this situation a whole lot worse. At Rise of Interest, Preston is talking to Bryce because he's trying to figure out where Zach is, because he's tried to call his phone many times and he's not answering. So he went to go see if he was at the office and he ain't there either. And Preston's like, Zach needs to stop disappearing like this. Preston, Zach is in jail. And they start talking about the whole thing that happened with Dr. Reed and how everything went. And Preston's like, I don't know, because I let them talk by themselves. And Bryce is like, he might still be trying to process everything. Preston's whole thing is, I'm trying to get these contracts signed, and without him being around, we can't get the deal done. And Bryce is like, well, you got my signature and they got yours, so we should be able to move forward. Bryce is like, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. And Preston's like, well, I'm about to go find Zach. Bryce is like, you want me to come with you? Preston's like, nah. You're probably the last person Zach wants to see right now, and I'm trying to figure out why, but I realize that Zach probably feels that Bryce overstepped by calling Dr. Reed. Over at Zach and Fatima's, Preston heads over there, and I'm like, why are you heading over there? You couldn't just call Fatima and find out where he was, even though she might not even tell you. Preston and the rest of the friend group, you can't just be showing up to people's houses unannounced. So as Preston's getting ready to leave from getting no answer, Deja pops out the bushes, and she's like, Zach is not here. Preston's like, Deja, don't you have a job? Deja's like, yeah, I do, but I work nights. And then Preston's like, what do you do? And then he realized that she's a stripper, right? So then they get back to the conversation about Zach, and Preston's like, where is he? Deja's like, he's in jail. Preston's like, what jail and for what? Deja's like, he's in jail for the murder of Jeremiah Matthew. And Preston's like, that's his brother. Deja's like, that's it. Preston's like, yeah, and after their conversation, Deja goes back in the house, and Preston calls Fatima, which he should have done in the first place instead of showing up at her house. So they have a conversation. Preston's like, I was just calling to see if Zach's alright. Fatima's like, well, you must have heard that he's in jail. Preston's like, yeah, with Chelsea in. Fatima's like, that really doesn't matter because they're not letting nobody see him anyway. I've tried and they're not letting me. And Fatima's like, there's no amount of money that you could throw this that you could get out for, so I appreciate you trying to help. Preston's getting ready to leave. Deja's still talking to him, and she's like, since Zach's in jail now, you think I could live here free? And Preston's like, bye, Deja. Like over at the police precinct, Fatima and Angela are still talking, and they're talking about the whole Zach thing and how Fatima feels like Zach didn't consider her. And Angela's like, who was that on the phone? Fatima's like, that was Preston. And Angela's like, well, I wish Zach realized how many people he got that loves and cares about him. And Fatima's like, me too, but that's not even enough. And as they're talking, Angela gets a call from Bryce. And Fatima's like, who was that? Angela's like, it was Bryce, but I'll call him back later. Fatima's like, he must have heard that he was in jail. Angela's trying to sit there and comfort Fatima, but Fatima's really not trying to hear it because she's made up her mind that she's done with Zach and she's fed up. So at the barbershop, Nate comes in to talk to Tony, and Tony's like, I've been calling you all night. Where was you at? Nate was like, I was at the hospital with Jeremiah. Tony's like, all night? Nate is like, yeah. Tony's like, well, tell me specifically what time you got there and what time you left. Nate is like, okay, I was only there for like 45 minutes. He's like, Connie was there all night though. Tony's like, I'll call her. Nate is like, she's probably tired. Tony's like, she's been tired a lot lately. I'm trying to figure out, is Connie sick or something? He tells Tony that Jeremiah got beat up pretty bad, and the reason that he was also there was to see if he still had Belinda's rent money. Belinda's tripping over the rent money, and he might have to come back on Tony's couch again. And Tony's like, well, you gotta make an effort, and I can't keep babying you like this. Show me that you can make an effort, and you can come back, right? We get back to the whole Zach conversation, and Nate is like, Zach blacked out. Tony's like, yeah, I know. And then Mr. Tyrone comes out the back, and he's like, what happened? What did Zach do? And Tony's like, nothing. Then Mr. Tyrone is like, I heard that Zach's in jail for the murder of Jeremiah. And Nate is like, what? He ain't dead. He's at the hospital. Mr. Tyrone continues to make jokes, and then they end up doing a moment of silence for him. I'm like, there's no reason to do a moment of silence because that man is not dead. Mr. Tyrone is like, well, that's not what the people saying in this, and not what the video shows. They're like, it's a video. Tony and Nate are like, what? Back over at the precinct, there's this lawyer that's there to talk to Zach, and she's like, my name is Donna Tisley. I'm not a criminal lawyer. I'm only here to help Fatima because she wanted to see you. And Zach is like, okay, where's she at? So Fatima comes in, and they have this conversation, and Donna Tisley is like, well, if you take this to court, you can get some type of defense. And Zach is like, well, I only need one person in the jury. Fatima's like, we're not taking this to court. And Donna Tisley leaves, and Zach and Fatima have their conversation, and Fatima's basically like, why'd you do this? Was it worth it? Zach is like, yeah, it was. I was just trying to protect you. Fatima was like, I was fine. I didn't have nothing to worry about. Zach is like, I just wanted to protect you. Fatima's like, well, you just wanted to have a point to prove. He's like, I love you, Zach, and I really do, but I don't know how much more I can take it. Zach is like, what you saying? Fatima's like, exactly what I said. I don't know how much more I can take it. Zach is like, Fatima, are you leaving? Fatima leaving him is only gonna foster the abandonment issues that he's already trying to work through. And Fatima's like, I just gotta think about me and my baby. Zach is like, our baby. Fatima's like, you should have thought about that. So when Fatima leaves out the room, she ends up crying and sliding down the wall. This is honestly very sad, and I hate this for both of them, but Zach needs to learn this lesson. You should have listened to Fatima when she said don't let go looking for your brother, because it's only going to end up bad. Let me know what you guys think about the episode. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on bell notifications. Bye!